Well, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Destry Wade at the Homeless Surfer. Glad to have you back with me. Um, gonna get started and kind of give you those that are just getting joining. We're starting to get moving. I kind of want to give you a brief outline of who I am, what we're trying to do here, and why I'm doing this. Motivation. I've been, I'm called the homeless surfer for one reason. I'm a homeless surfer. Um, been homeless since my children left my home in 2016. Um, just got tired of paying rent. Decided to take my little bit of Social Security money and eat with it and get a hotel here and there. But for the most part, just decided I'm going to sit and enjoy the beach because that's what I do anyway in retirement and, uh, and live there, sleep there. Been doing it since I was a kid. I grew up, in Pacific Beach. So even the place that I'm homeless, I've been there since I was a child. My mom was there since she was a child. So we're well known. I know all the old people, the people who walk around, the locals. It's less and less locals. I mean, a lot of us are, a lot of them are passing on. My parents' generation for sure. And I'm in my 60s now, so we're getting older. But yeah, looking at the situation of being homeless, I decided, and where I am now, let me explain. 10 years I've been homeless. 7 of those years I was actually on the street. 2016, July 2016 was the day the sheriff came and I became homeless. That was it. I had to grab my bags. Thank God I knew they were coming. Back it up. I was all packed. Grabbed my couple bags that I needed for the street because I knew I had nowhere to go. I mean, I can go get a hotel room, but then you're just doing that again. And I've been there. I mean, raising my kids, there was times when the hotel loop was part of the thing, and I didn't. No. So I'd rather just go sleep on the sand because mostly I'm up 16, 17, 18 hours a day anyway. And my sleep time is very minimal and nothing better than the sound of the ocean when you're falling asleep. The sand's a little more than you ever knew. Sand gets everywhere. But I was there for 7 years, basically on the sand, and everything was fine. I mean, I'd grown to know the local community of what I call transitional people, trying to figure out who they are. Most of them, I had a different aspect and different unique look because, hey, like I said, I had Social Security, so I wasn't hungry. Didn't have to go to feeds, and didn't really have to get into the whole lifestyle thing of homelessness, which some people are trapped in. So, um, being homeless wasn't as bad for me, but those 7 years, I did learn that it wasn't healthy for me. It does wear on you. Even sleeping on sand, you might think it's soft, but it's hard on your body. It's hard on your bones. Breathing, I've got COPD, so breathing moist air all night long isn't healthy either. So what happened was I had a heart attack, and then I ended up here. This is a COVID era homeless help benefit. Mainly, I think they did it to get the homeless people off the streets so that they weren't passing the disease around. But since most of these things have gone away, and this one goes away in February. Now, I'm an educated man, been in business, understand law. I'm going to try to fight it out with the housing commission and say that, through the ADA, it's just not right to throw somebody back in the street. The whole point is to keep them off. But with that said, that wasn't even really a consideration in this thing. Because bottom line is, in the last 3 years of being here, I got sober. And the good thing about that is I'm sober. I like it. I've been high and fucked up for so long, it feels high to be sober. It's weird, huh? It's nice to get up and feel that. That's a whole different feeling for me after all these years. 45 years of messing around. Last 10 really heavy. Um, or last seven to last 10, really heavy to a point that I gave myself a heart attack. Heart attack, alcohol related. That was the diagnostic with COPD complications. So, anyway, um, I decided that, as the last year ended, that I don't want to be useless anymore. And so I have to sit around, I've been sitting here for 3 years. And what happens is you get stuck. You just sit here and grow old and die. And that's not what I want to do, man. I still got life to live. So I decided I'm going to do something. I'm going to get a freaking project. And at least through age and experience, you know what you're good at, you know what you're not so good at. Um, and the other thing, it's a realistic situation, specifically if you're going to do any kind of business startup or anything crazy like that from an absolutely zero starting point. I mean, guarantee you. I have this chair, this computer you're looking at, a cell phone, a backpack that they're going to go into wrapped in plastic with the three items of clothes. You have 3 days of changing, so I'll have three pairs of shorts, three shirts, pair of sandals, a few cosmetics, which is your underarm deodorant, your automatic razors that you have because you can charge that and utilize that. And me, I have long hair, so I just pull it back. Makes it simple, clean. Some people are smart; they use really short hair. Makes it easy too. That's how you survive, and that's all you care. That's all I carry. Now I can do the YouTube. I can do my books. I can do everything that we're doing on Be Best Me Media right from here and the street sitting on the beach. Got Wi-Fi. I got a mobile hotspot, so I can carry that with me. We'll have good Wi-Fi going. I'm getting the audio, so I can use audio out there, and you'll be able to hear me real well, probably better than you do now. I'm sure. And I'm gonna have some live feeds and stuff like that where, or not live feeds. I'm sorry, tape feeds, but they call them B rolls, which will kind of show you what's going on. So, like I said, I had to decide what I wanted to do, and looking through all the various options that I had, which weren't great. My kind of my resume is I built swimming pools for a living primarily. The last half of my working career from uh, 40 to 55 was um, building swimming pools, supervising construction. And I loved it. Great job, paid real well. I enjoyed the work. I love seeing dirt turn into something so bitchin' as a swimming pool with landscape around it. Just boom. I love it. I love it. Builder in my heart. Um, Before that, I was started out in college on telemarketing. Um, did that for years, man. Telemarketing all the way through college, right into law school. Then I started getting into more technical type sales. The mortgage industry took off, and I went into that kind of right as everybody else was starting to jump in. But luckily, I saw it coming, so I jumped into it. Did okay there, but it was marketing. Realized real quick it was just marketing. Sales and marketing are the same thing. So anyway, from there, I decided as the mortgage industry slowed down, um, I decided to. That was right. This is in the 2000s. This is like the 80s, 90s. I decided to go into marketing. I created a marketing company, and I just started marketing various businesses. It was really simple to start. Phone call to see if I can get a meeting. Go to a meeting. Set them up on a marketing idea that I had. They'd pay for the cost, and I did it well. I did it smart because what I did was I went into the marketing with the idea that I'd get them commission based marketing type of thing. It really took off. It did well. I made more, in the long run, doing well with it. You made more than you would have if you just took a flat rate on the front side. So anyway, that with those are my basic experiences: sales, marketing, phones, hustle. It's all those positions that I've ever had, and even in the pools, man. You're moving. You got to hustle. A lot of energy. Um, so with that, okay, there's my basis. Now, the other thing is, as I'm living here for 2 or 3 years, I started watching TV because, like I said, my health isn't good. I walk a mile a day with my dog and pretty much sit. Wish I had more friends, which is what you guys are. You're my friends. Yes, I'm not kidding. Um, so anyway, I watched a lot of YouTube. I just got into it. It serves my ADD nature so well. I mean, I was always the dude with the remote control sitting on the couch, driving people crazy. Will you just pick something? Every time there's an ad, I got to go through the whole 57 channel. Luckily, back then there was only like 57 channels. Now, geez, you get all day to go through a channel surf. Anyway, so oh Jesus, see, I lost my train of thought. There's the age. Alcohol abuse does lead to future failures. No, with that looking at, but I was watching a lot of YouTube, and what I decided to do on that. And hey, you know what's cool about this? Being that I'll go to that in a minute, but I'm researching a lot, using my brain a lot, learning a lot on the computer. Um, and yeah, I'm finding that some way, somewhere, my brain's starting to activate again. I kind of like it. It's nice. But anyway, with YouTube, I just started watching stuff. Watched Rogan and all these different. sit and chat channels that I thought were cool. Because basically, I was daytime TV was always Geraldo or Donahue or one of those guys. Sally Jesse Raphael. There was hundreds of them. Oprah, of course. Don't forget mention Oprah. So you know, and I love the Rogan thing. And I thought that was great. Sit and chat with people, and that's kind of what I like to do. Um, but I realized that right now is that wouldn't be an option, honestly. Um, but that's not what I was thinking about. It's just like it started giving me ideas. It started making me think, hey, I might be able to do something with this thing because I do have a computer that I found in a trash can that works fine. I love it. I use it to do emails and stuff to keep in contact with family and stuff while I can. And I mess around with the kitchen, just mess around with the computer a little bit. But I don't. One thing about it, I don't know computers, so I had to sit and I decided I'm going to do something. And in analyzing a marketing and sales, I don't think I have the energy for it. You really got to put some energy in when you're doing that. I mean, even if you're selling Mercedes Benz, the Mercedes shop where people walk in and beg you to buy, there's still a lot of energy to go. You know what I mean? And I just didn't feel like I had that enough to dedicate. Because what I'm going to do is, no matter what I do, is I'm going to go into my own thing. So I'm gonna whatever it is, it's contract work. So I decided against that. Looking at swimming pool construction, honestly, with the COPD, hiking back and forth on a construction site would probably kill me. And I lose balance sometimes. My balance is good. My legs aren't as strong as they once were. Mainly due to sitting around for 7 straight years and drinking them to death. They basically got what do they call that? Apathy, which I came out of the coma and just let me hear. I came out of that coma. I had apathy, which is a trip. You don't have muscle in their bones and skin. So anyway, yeah, I had to rework all that. But so that really wasn't an option either. I mean, I thought about maybe I could design some pools. I'm a good designer. I used to design a lot of the pools that I built. Um, but even that, it's a very competitive natured business, and it's construction, and it is cutthroat out there. And big companies don't like little companies coming in and taking the big jobs, which is I ran into that when I was young, stubborn, and mean. I could handle it then, but not now. I wouldn't even want to go through all that. So that was set aside. Thinking of YouTube, I saw a special on there, and some guy named I want to give him Kevin Colby. he was an older guy like me. He's like what 63, and he runs kind of like this a talk to you uh, channel. And his is more informative on kind of people our age learning to understand and work with things like YouTube and the different computer technologies that are out there that actually allow us to generate revenue, which, wow, that's cool. So that kind of came into my mind. So I decided through the month of December, I was just going to go heavy on educating myself on what is going on online. How does YouTube work? How does TikTok thing work? Keep in mind the negative side when you're on your Ben Franklin scale. You're like, well, I can do it because I got the equipment to do it. No matter homeless or not, and that's the other thing you have to consider within these calculuses. I'm going to be in the street highly likely. So if that happens, is this going to be for naught? Am I just going to waste my time? And I looked at this thing and said, you know what? This is the one thing out of all the things I could possibly do, e-commerce, um, gig economy, they call it. That's something I can do in one aspect. Now, on the other side of the Franklin skull is guess what, Destry? You don't even know how to turn a computer on. You barely can get through an email. And if God forbid they ask me my password, I'm screwed. Um, you know, I hit buttons sometimes and lose everything I'm doing. I can't even find where I was. All the text I just wrote disappear on me. I really don't like the computer. I don't use it. All through my business career, from swimming pools all the way back to doing law firm marketing, I always had a personal assistant or a secretary that did that job. Didn't have to even mess with the computer. I orally told her what I wanted to do, and she did it, and she did it well. Every time I gave her instructions, and I don't know if my instructions were good. I'll tell you that in a minute. It turns out they were. Um, she just mastered, great assistant. So I left the computer thing to them. So over on my T scale, when I'm thinking of this ideas, I'm like, well, I don't know the computer very well. It's going to be hard. But then I thought to myself, and I've been messing with it, doing YouTube and following along with instructions on what they're doing there onto here, so I can learn how to do all this stuff. So really, I didn't know how to turn this video thing on. It took me like 2 days to figure out how to even get here, really. And then there was no audio. I was doing tapes and I was thinking, I'm doing great. This is great. This is rolling, man. I'm doing good. Turned out I didn't even have audio on. Take two. Anyway, so that's kind of been that's going to be, as I looked at it, my challenge is to do that. But I can do that. There's classes. Um, as an elderly homeless person, I qualify for continuing education classes. And it just so happens that a large majority of these classes these days are really based on computers and being computer literate. Even some of them on social media literacy, as far as, one of the great things about this thing that's going to make, I think, is a good benefit to it is loneliness factor. And you don't have to be lonely. You can do FaceTimes. You can go on, like I said, watch Rogan, people you like. You get to know them. I mean, I watch shows. I'm that guy, and they say it's a normal thing. Like you start feeling part of them. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, man. Me and Geraldo, we're like this, and I never met the man, but I know he likes me because I watch him every day, and I'm with him on that, man. Hey, you guys take the time out of your life to share with me and my life, and hopefully eventually share your life, because that's what I really want to do. I want to build this into more like a Rogan, where we bring people on, talk to them, and we do it live, or we live outside. None of no filters. That's what's cool about this to me. Forget the filters. We don't need fancy makeup. We don't need to create pretend people. That did enough damage already. The pretend people thing, because then these poor little girls and these dudes think they're supposed to look like that, and that ain't even real. Trust me, Paul Walker's a good-looking dude, but when you meet him, he's just a dude. When you look at him on TV and he's flying through the air in a car, dude looks like a god. But that's not who he is. And I happen to know the man. He's a good man. God bless him, and he will rest in peace because he was a good dude. I have no doubt where he's sitting. So anyway, understanding that is what I like about this thing. It's raw. Let's do it raw. Let's keep it raw. I'm creating a style here, man. Go with me, pearls, baby, pearls. Um, so yeah, I decided I could do this. And what I decided to do though, and that's the crazy thing, it had nothing to do with this YouTube thing. This YouTube thing's turning out as somebody like myself is really creative and just imagination goes wild. I got more ideas in my head than I can get out. But what I'm doing now, is going to allow a lot of that to escape. So I'm looking at the computer and I'm thinking, what can I do? And I'm watching YouTube videos and stuff. And then I ran into Kevin Colby. He was talking about actually doing a YouTube channel. And people, over 40 are demographically high on the list. I think a lot of us have a lot more time than we used to. There's not as much social interaction in the world anymore. We just don't. When we were coming up, coffee shops, a happy hour, weekend getaways with each other, with friends. You always were around friends, man. I had my wife, me and my wife, and kids were always together, but we were always with somebody else. We weren't just us, and at least also we had us back then. God, a lot of us are long since divorced. Our spouses are long since gone. Our kids are definitely gone. I think if you raise them right, they should be gone. Old Whitney joke is for your 18th birthday, the proud family tradition is you receive a whole set of luggage. It's a parental pass down that's required in the Whitney family. On your 18th birthday, out. I did my job. I'm going back to me, which I get now. Um, so we looked at that, and like I said, I said, you know what? I want to make books. I want to use the internet to make kids' books because I write. I love to write. I rhyme. I love to rhyme, like in a kid's way. You know what I mean? Like Adam the Atom was an atom. Yeah. I do stuff like that, like educational rhymes. I learned. I started messing around with that in college because I was in my general ed classes. I had to take a couple science classes. I suck. It's not my thing, dude. I'm just not into it. I mean, from day one, science and math just turned me off. Turned me. I could be sitting in class and I just draw. I'm a doodle dude. Sitting there doodling the whole time. Didn't hear a word they said. I'm just doodling. So it just didn't catch me. This is the science and math thing. So, where was I? Jeez, I totally had a brain lapse there. I don't know why I went off on science and math. Where'd that come from? So anyway, back to hopefully I'll get this back on track with you here. Bear with me. Like I said, the raw thing. Yeah, that's what it is. Keep it raw. It makes a difference. That's my excuse for my editing failure, and my inability to manage editing. But anyway, so the kids book. So I was always into. Oh, I was telling you. I'm sorry. Science in college, I got into this thing where to get through science, I created kids books about science. It's just simple stuff like Atom the Atom. It was about an atom. I could go that far in a science class. I knew what an atom was. Nucleus, proton, all that stuff. Not quite sure, and still to this day, never figured out that. So anyway, I always had that desire in the back of my mind that hey, someday I really want to write something like a Dr. Seuss did. I loved his work when I was a kid. Probably the only books I ever read in my life until I got to college. So, um, so anyway, um, yeah, I wanted to do these books, these kids' books. So the idea that I had working on this computer, watching YouTube, was through like Etsy store and printing books and things like that. And I thought, okay, I could do this with no startup, and I could do it from my computer, from the library. All I got to do is keep my thing charged for 4, 5, 6 hours. But I got a 7 hour battery on this, and that works. And then I can charge at the library when they're open. So that gives me 16 hours a day of available access to the computer system that I have. So that definitely added to the decision of yeah, let's do it like that. So I decided to start doing that. I started writing my books. Now all of a sudden on YouTube, I ran and I was just watching something. I'm writing my kids' books. I got 100 of them already written done. Um, I started noticing on YouTube about AI. Never messed with AI. Like I said, I'm not a big computer guy. I was using the computer to help me write the books and kind of format it. And I was going to um, take it to an illustrator that I know. There's another street dude that would probably give. I know he would. He already said he would. He'd do this for me, which would be illustrate the books. That's what we were going to do. And then I go online, and all I have to do is I have to put them into a file system and then send them out on one aspect. You can send them out to a bunch of basically pay as you go type of thing. So people buy the books on print. Yeah, print on demand. That's what it's called. So print on demand. I'm like, okay, that'll work. All of a sudden, the AI thing popped up, and I was watching it, and it blew me away. I was like, wow. Now I'm not a computer guy, but I went on my computer and I pulled up and just put on the AI thing, and all of a sudden I had ChatGPT. So watching the AI, they were showing us how to take text into illustrations. I thought, wow, that might work for me. So let's give it a try. So I watched a couple things on AI over the months and kind of got familiar with it. And it's weird because, like I said, being a non-computer dude, it's so weird how AI just grabbed me and I knew it. It's like, wow. Like I said before in these other videos, is I believe the AI grabbed me simply because I've been a boss, a manager, and an owner all my life. So instructing employees to do what they do, like I said with Ashley, she's one of my best. I could just tell her what to do orally, and she'd make it happen physically. All of a sudden there's a business plan there, there's a prospectus there, an order I need, there's this, that. It was there. She was awesome at it, and she was multitasking. She could do the legal stuff as far as drawing up legal paperwork. She could do the marketing stuff, which awesome. She handled the mailings and everything we did. So girl was awesome. So I went into to the Chat GPT, and after listening to a couple tutorials, I realized to myself, or I thought to myself, this is very much like just having a good employee. If I give her good instructions, she's going to give me the best results, and I can trust those results because they always worked. I never had somebody go, "Your advertising is bad enough." They're perfect. That's good. So I went into ChatGPT and I decided to do something simple, which was simply ask it to, with my text that I'd written. And then I wrote text and then I wrote illustration, what I wanted to see. So I put those two things in there and I said, go. He came back with it, and I only went page one. They taught me that. I already learned that on watching it on TV. So I did page one. It came out exactly like I liked it. Loved it. Okay. Page two. Boom. Looking good. I suddenly realized I don't need an illustrator. I have one. So let's use AI to be my illustrator. Good idea. Really good idea. Now, we'll go through, and we've gone through in other issues. There's issues to that as well. And one of the big things I've figured out is how to work even more. Like I said, a good manager, a good owner is good at giving instructions to his people so that he gets the results he's anticipating. When you get unanticipated results because you gave bad instructions, you're stuck. It's your fault. So AI is the same way, and I've realized that real quick. It's a kid that you got to give check, and remember how computers work. You know, like I said, I don't know crap about computers, but I've seen enough little spread charts and stuff. It basically goes here, then goes here, here, then goes here, here, here. So you got to get it through that to get down here to what you want it to tell you, what you want to learn from it. And it's amazing because I now have my personal assistant, my lawyer, my accountant, my graphic designer, my editor, and my marketing company all right here in AI. Okay. It now, you train it to do what you want it to do, just like I trained all my employees. And that's what's amazing about this thing. It's opened up my mind greater than I ever thought. But what I don't want to do with this is my idea was to do the books and to use AI now. Okay, I figured out I'm going to use AI for my books. I went on there, I asked it to give me a business plan. It did, as far as book sales, who to call, how to market. I got that all down. I kind of knew a lot of it anyway, but it helps to have it in a bullet so you can go back through it. You know, I'm still using a pen and a piece of paper a lot. um, but and I probably always will. It's just the way I was raised and what I know and I'm comfortable with. I then transfer it into the computer. I don't use Word, I use paper, and then I put it in the computer. So with that, I don't know. Oh, I decided to build with these books because there's, like I said, I've got 1,000 books already built. I mean, 100 books, 1,000 pages of text and illustration already written up in data. So now I just got to feed it in, and it's amazing. Few more complications that, but like I said, this isn't the forum for that today. Um, just kind of give you an overview of why we're here, why I'm here again, is what's the point. Again, let's go through like, subscribe, and comment, please. Everything should be turned on, ring a bell, whatever. Help me out. It does help out. That's kind of the cool thing that I found is as I continued down, and I was using YouTube to research how to do these kids' books, marketing ideas, concepts. AI was helping me lay it all out, get the business plan, the corporate plan done. Because what I decided to do is because I had so many different ideas and series in my head, and they're all basically family-oriented entertainment. That's what it is. I grew up watching the Waltons, Little House on the Prairie, good simple cartoons. Uh, and I want to recreate that. You know, I decided to make a company that my mission statement in my mind was what Disney used to be. So I want to do that. So what I decided, I was watching and decided to call it Be Best Me Media. It's for families, family media. So to do that, that's the books are gonna go under that. So the books can go under that, and I can build it from there. With the corporation as a media corporation, it opens you up to more funding potentials, specifically in this market because people are tired of the non-family. Everything's got to have some sort of weird message in it. No matter what point of view you have, there's certain things you know, like Snoop Dogg said, my kid doesn't need to know that. I don't want to answer that question. If you don't tell them about it, they won't know about it. At least they're old enough to think about it. This is for kids. This whole thing. So we're building the media company, and AI is helping me do that. It's an amazing tool. So the first phase of what we're doing in building this is, and the first point of our chapter is to watch You get motivation from watching me, the dumbest person in the world with a computer, figure it out, pull it out of his ass with not a dime to my name, guys. Everything I'm doing, all these little extra things, like I have to buy more time to print. You use, yeah, it's a deal. So you're, and especially if you're doing it like I'm doing it, where it's kind of a commercial operation. You got to go the pro level every time, or you're not going to have enough data or space or whatever the hell it is. But you got to have it, or you can't keep going. And to print 1,000 book or 100 books, or lay out and do the illustrations and everything on 100 books, plus you got to do the editing on it. Yeah, it's not free. But once you get your master prompts, here's the cool thing. And let me tell you that you do keep learning. And that's why I'm stoked. Because the other part of the channel, besides, okay, we're going to watch this homeless fool who has basically no choice in the world, but to make this succeed, try. Fun, huh? So let's run. But I'm going to do it better than that. I'm going to show you that not only can we succeed, we can thrive if we just take all the information you and I have. I mean, our lives were not wasted. Our time has not been wasted. We have learned. Now take the learning, fold it up into a nice little understandable Rubik's Cube or ball or whatever makes you understand all the experience and accumulation in one place of you. Not everybody else's. Don't worry about them. Don't listen to them. Especially if you're over 40. You should be well aware, shouldn't have to do the motivational speech about, don't listen to others. You shouldn't listen to others. They all want you to fail. I guarantee you that you should know. Remember, I've been to prison. The people you go to your best friend sends you to prison every fucking time. Ask the prisoners. Always, that's a common knowledge. Your best friend ends up getting you here. Because nobody wants to do time, so they get caught too doing stupid shit. They're gonna throw you under the bus because that way they don't have to go. It's real. So anyway, getting this thing fired up, I decided that you know what? I think we got something to show people here. Number one, because the YouTube thing is a good idea for a couple reasons for me. Number one, I can promote my books, so that's great. So that's natural, just feed into the YouTube thing. I wanted more media, but I'm not going to use this YouTube channel at all for any kind of kids media, anything like that, because Be Best Me Media, the corporation's been set up from AI doing. Dude, AI wrote everything. I just gave it. You got to give it a prompt. You give it the right instructions, it gives you the right results. And I'll be happy to refer you to people that can give you that information. That's not what this channel is going to be about. It's kind of more of a let's see what somebody from nothing can do with a good idea, and a little determination, even from the worst of situations. Being homeless is the worst of situations. Trust me. You get there, like, how the hell did this happen? And some people get stuck sitting there wondering why the hell this happened and blaming everybody around them for why this has happened to them. Okay, I had that. I've gone through that phase of it for sure. This is like mourning death. There's 7 or whatever phases of it. Yeah, one of those phases definitely I walked that through. Some people get stuck in that phase because people are mean. People don't look at you like let's help you out. They look at you like let's kick you while you're down. Um, so yeah, I've had that phase, but this phase is like no, no. Let's get back up. Let's make something happen. Whether you get up and you go out and collect aluminum cans out of old trash cans, at least you're making something happen. You're doing something for yourself, keeping yourself moving. This is a little more modern technology way to do it, which is going to be great because it will lead if you do it continually and get the education to do it, which we can. We can take homeless and handicapped and people, teach them how to do these things, and let them use AI to create things because that's what we need right now. AI is not replacing us. It's not. I did a lot of research. I've studied the crap out of this thing. It's not replacing us. It's making us better. The computer didn't replace humans. There's still accountants, even though we have accountant software. There's still lawyers, even though there's legal assistance online. It's not going to take it. It's going to enhance it, make it better, make it less worrisome for us. Bottom line is the humans are what's here. That's why we're here. So, yeah, to build this stuff is cool. It's really cool that we've done this. So, I want to bring hope. Hopefully that's what this channel does is bring hope. Hope is alive, and if you keep it alive, and then you gotta make some certain moves. You know, I'm not here to here. I'm not going to be here to be anybody's sympathy shoulder to cry on, dude. I'm not that guy. You know, you're a grown up human. You know what's right and wrong. I don't think anyone doesn't know what right and wrong is. I do also believe there's some people that are mentally incapable to manage their own lives. They just don't have the ability anymore through the street life or through just natural mental decline. They're not there. Or there's the elderly out here that are just gone, man. It's so wrong. I mean, not gone. They're wrong. It's wrong that we put these people at 70, 80 years old suffering from on a walker to sleep in the street. Those are the people we need to help. That and by the way, if you want to know who else you got to help, you got to help the working poor. All these billions going into this homeless thing is bullshit. The working poor, you know what they need? They need a guarantor to sign a lease, and they need a first month's down payment. From there, they're good. They'll take off like wildfire. Maybe a few months of food assistance while they just get things rolling again. That would do more for getting people off the streets and out of their cars and vans, because those people live in those cars and vans, they work. They don't sit around. The dude on the street with a tent and a trash can in front of him, yeah, he's got different issues. But the ones we need to help are the ones that are willing to help themselves. And so hopefully this channel shows the general public, 40 plus, that some of us are willing to help ourselves and some of us are still intelligent enough to get it done, even with the damage that we have suffered. Because there is, dude, you don't go live out there and not suffer damage, both physically and emotionally. You see shit you shouldn't see. You know, war is something humans should never see. You go on the street, you're at war every day, and it's a random war. You don't know who your enemies are today. So yeah, that's that's that. So this is hopefully motivational to you guys to say he can do it. That dumbass can do this, and you're gonna watch me do it. Hang on, man. Week in and week out, we're gonna go forward. Where are we now? Got a corporation set up. I'm gonna get somebody to donate. Seeing how you start making phone calls. That's the thing I have that I think a lot of people don't have naturally. Is I have the ability to get on the phone and talk to people. I'm not afraid of it in any way, shape, or form. So now I just start calling anybody and everybody, telling them my plans, tell them your vision. Hey, I want to set up a corporation. I want to partner in this thing because I want this and I want that. We can make this happen. Now that's the best case scenario, but you don't plan your whole life on that part. If I did that, might not happen. In the meantime, while I'm doing that, I can get over here and keep making the books, keep finding ways to put them out, distribution processes. That's working. Now, like I said, we got this YouTube thing that popped up. Now it's not part of the media company, but it's a revenue source, and it will be. Because I guarantee you, I have the vision of this thing that we're going to do something really cool here. It is going to be like Rogan, but a little bit different. We're doing it outside, and it's going to be on the beach. It's going to be with people that we just talk to, and we drink coffee with. And spend a couple hours a day just hanging together, talking together. You know, we'll have call-ins. I want to make a real show, and we can do it. This technology, I need like two items, maybe $200 worth of shit, and I can do that. I can make that happen with a cool camera, live, and all the tech and all the all the bells and whistles. It's not even costly. You just have to have the creativity, which we do. That's who we are. That's what God loved about us. People are creative. We're artistic. We make them laugh. We make them cry. We do beautiful things. We're simple, beautiful people. But complications in the world and the way that things have been thrown at us and in our lives has made complications. Um, Hopefully we can get through those. Being homeless is a great thing from one aspect. Is I'm starting at zero, dude. I got nothing to lose. Your judgment means nothing to me. Uh, the fact that I don't have a car or anything else that I don't want. I'm not materialistic. I got, like I said, my world, my materialistic world consists of this chair you see, which gets replaced every 3 or 4 months because they wear out. Um, my glasses, three shirts in a backpack, three pair of shorts in a backpack, plus the one on, a backup pair of sandals because God forbid those go out when you're walking around, and that's all I have is sandals. I don't carry shoes. I have no shoes. We don't want to carry that shit around. And then that all goes into a backpack with your deodorant and stuff so you can look good and smell good and keep yourself looking good. My friend always said, you'll be homeless. You don't have to look like you're homeless. And that's what we live on that way. And we always have. That's been homeless on the beach since I was a kid. The homeless dudes you didn't really even know were homeless. You thought they were drunks because they slept on the beach drunk sometimes. You didn't know they were homeless. not something you go around talking about. So with that, that's all I have. That's all I need. So from that minimal stance, if I can do this, and I'm going to show you, you're going to go with me. We're going to do it together. Maybe you'll do it simultaneously. It'll be cool. Maybe we can work together on the media side. It's really cool because we're going to, it's a buildable thing. I mean, keep in mind, there's 4 billion people right now watching YouTube. 4 billion. You worldwide. 4 billion, dude. If I got 1,000 people, forget about it. I make a living. I mean, that's it. That alone right there covers my needs. Because what my needs have changed on, I don't need anything more than what I just mentioned. That's what I need. What I want is I want to sleep in a bed. I want to have a kitchen and I want to have a bathroom. That's what I want. No more. There's no reason to want more. I don't like even cleaning this, so it's a pain in the ass. I don't have storage. I don't have a bunch of crap that I have to worry about. I don't want any of that. I'm over that part. You know, most people getting old to start selling their shit off. You just don't need it, man. It's just a bunch of extra work. So I can get rid of that. So I don't need to build to that. I need to build, honestly, if I look at my budget, it's about $4,000 a month net. And I'll have everything I need. I'll be living on the beach in a studio apartment. I'll have my own food with no welfare. I'll have my utilities will be paid, and that's it. That's my expenses. It's really simple. It's a little expensive in California to live more so than most, but you can do it. I mean, 4,000 to make 4,000 a month doing this, I can. We'll have it done. I guarantee you. Watch. I'm gonna keep you updated. We're gonna go through everything as this thing crawls and climbs. We're gonna be together doing it, and the whole thing. And I promise you, if things go the way my vision sees, and I've never really been wrong on that part when I'm doing it right, we're gonna have one hell of a Christmas party this year. Love you guys. Hang in there. We're gonna keep moving this channel forward. We're gonna keep getting those books out. There's some definite difficulties to that, mainly because I'm a guy that doesn't know computers. But luckily, I'm learning that my brain does still work, and if I take time to read tutorials and watch some YouTube, anything's on YouTube. You need it now. Just type it in. How do you save a file on a HP computer? I didn't know that, but I typed it in and it did. With like 73 different tutorials on how to just do one thing that took me like 3.5 seconds. I just didn't know how to do. Anyway, hang in there, guys. See you in a couple days. Oh, by the way, the glasses got fixed, sort of, but it looks much better than the blue ones, right? All right. Peace.